So I've got several objectives, and I've got them broken up into three different parts. Oops, sorry about that, guys. The first one is just giving you some background information. It may not seem like it's relevant to the economic situation, but it is, and you'll see how it is as we go through the presentation. But I think it's important that you know a little bit about the geography of Brazil. So I'll show you some maps of the regions, major cities, and some of the major ecosystems. Um, Politics and economics always seem to go together, so I'll cover the political system and some of the government organizations that are important in Brazil, especially financial institutions. It's important to talk about society. You know what's the social makeup of Brazil? And in the United States, social classes, it's kind of a taboo to discuss them, but here there's very distinct ones, A through E. So I'll go through what those are, and then I'll talk a little bit about how inequality is an issue here in Brazil that continues to hinder the growth of the country. This is kind of fun. The Hofstede analysis, six dimensions of culture. I'll talk about how those cultural dimensions can be applied to business culture. I'll look at some customs. I think that's important, especially for the account managers. When people are coming here, they have to tell their clients what to be prepared for, what to expect in terms of business culture. And then I'll give you some high level vital economic statistics and facts. After that, I'll go into the second part, and this is where I really talk about what makes up the economy of Brazil in terms of domestic products that they produce here and consume, and then what do they export? In terms of a raw material or a commodity, as well as value-added products. They're quite different. Then they do quite a bit of importing, so I'll go through the top 10 most important imports. And then continuing on that vein of trade, I'll talk about some of the Oops, sorry about that. I'll talk about some of the multinationals that are here that are international ones. For example, American multinationals. But there's also some big Brazilian multinationals. So it's important that you guys, as salespeople and BMPs, you know what kind of companies are here. So I want to give you kind of a general feel of that. And then the last part. Oh, sorry. And then I'll talk a little bit about U.S. Brazil trade and foreign direct investment, and I'll touch on Brazilian trade with other countries as well, especially China. Then the last section, I'm going to go into the history, the economic history, all the way to the present day. And part one really goes up into about 25 or 30 years ago. And Brazil experienced a lot of ups and downs, booms and busts. It was not a stable economy until very recently. So in part two, I'll focus on three different presidents that have really shaped the modern economy. And then I'll look at six areas of focus that are challenging, where there's issues, and to sustain the growth that Brazil has experienced in the last 10 years, what do they have to do to make that happen? And throughout the presentation, we'll have questions at the end, but please, to make this interesting, if I just talk for an hour and a half without questions, you guys might get pretty sleepy, especially if you've eaten lunch. So ask questions, stop me. I want to make this relevant to you, and if I can give any my own real life business experiences, please, say, Matt, can you give me an example of that? And I'll do my best. Now, if I can't answer something, I'm not going to, hide behind the fact that I've lived here for 4 years. I'll just write it down, and then I can send Robin an email, and she can give that answer to everybody.